Alright, welcome back. This is MDawg. We're going to do a quick tutorial here on trolling at Kuori. So if you saw the last episode, at the end of the episode, we did go and purchase some equipment that we can use to troll here at Kuori. We have our 5-day boat ticket. Remember, what we're doing right now is not about making silver or XP. Although we probably will hit level 21 if we catch any decent fish at all. What we're doing right now is trying to level up our spin fishing so that we're ready for our next trip to Copper. I'm sure it won't make it, but I certainly don't want it going past 20 clip. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, that's fine. Remember, we only have 247, no, we only have 100 meters, 110 meters of line because we bought the very small cheap spool. So we definitely don't want these clips going very far back there. So if you are trolling, if you haven't ever trolled before, the first thing you need to do is hold down U and assign them to your number 1 and number 2 slot so that you can easily pick them up and push them back down. By default, if you hit 0, that sets it down. And we have 1, we have 2. In case you did miss last episode, this is how we're starting off. 11.6 fluorocarbon liters. You know, we could get bullied. There's some fish here at Kuori that we could be in trouble. The good news is, with our small spool of line, since we're saving money, chances are we'll be able to look how quickly we caught a fish. Chances are we'll be able to follow it since we're trolling. So you hit J. Once you're not holding a rod, you hit J to start the trolling motor. At any time, if you hit J again, you will stop trolling. And once you stop trolling, if you have a rod in your hand, you can't start again. So if I wanted to start trolling again, I have to wait until I at least have one hand free. So since we're not in the middle of fighting a fish, we have one hand free so we can start trolling. Look how fast a bite rate we're having, by the way. This is exactly what we want. So far, I don't think any of the fish we've caught have been markers. We've caught 3 grayling now. This is perfect. We're getting spin fishing points every time because it's so low. This is exactly what we want to do here at Kuori. And we are, oh, we don't have a map. Okay. We will go around the island. So we actually launch from where the boat sits. We've come out here to the island. We'll do sort of a loop around the island, and then we'll make our way back to town so we can... There's an Arctic char. So we can get a map of the place, just so that at different times I can kind of point out where we are on the map. Now we only have 3.58 silver, so we actually might need to catch a marker or 2 just to be able to afford the map from the admin building. It does seem like the Spiker 18 is getting the better bite rate. There's a Vendus. Nice Vendus. And, but we have caught some fish. Let's see. Spiker, Hornet, Spiker. So the Hornet has caught 2 fish, which is great. I'm just trying to decide, should we put the other Spiker on? Remember, we have the Spiker 17 and 18. Or do we want to keep that Hornet on for now? All we care about is bite rate. All we really care about is bite rate. Overcast day. The lake trout. Overcast day. And, we'll take a look at the temperature here in a second. Just going in between the wall and the island here. Now you notice the insane bite rate. Sometimes even if you have unlocked spoon, wobblers, whatever else, sometimes if you're struggling at Kuori, you just want to have a fun time, at least put 1 spinnerbait on. And I know we're catching a lot of non-markers. You can always increase the hook size on the spinnerbait, or you could just be patient. Eventually you'll hook into something big. have one marker so far. So we're just kind of doing, this is the oldest route known to Kuori, which is to come straight out and then just do a loop around this island. And if we had a map I could show you, but you can sort of follow where the deeper holes are. And that tends to be where people catch a lot of fish. Now, right now we're getting a much slower bite rate over here on the, I think, western side of the island is where we are. No, eastern side of the island. And so if this were to keep up, which I don't know that it will, but if this were to keep up, then, you know, we just wouldn't troll on this side. Stay on the side that's giving us the better bite rate. I think we will go in and just see how much that map is. That will sort of bother me till we actually get the map, but again, the bite rate is fantastic, like 4 minutes. But the quality is awful, which is exactly what we expected and what we are okay with. One thing I do have to remember though is sometimes fish that aren't a marker are big enough to turn into pieces of fish. Now, lake trout, and it's a marker, 10.9%. So you'll remember that on the right side here we have the Pulsar, and on the left side we have the Saber 60. Very similar reels. You can look at the specs and kind of make your own decision. I like Saber 60, but that's more because of nostalgia, not because of the actual difference in the reels. I think they're almost indistinguishable. They're both very good, reliable reels. I like them both a lot. I've used them both quite a bit over the years, but I've definitely used Saber 60 more. Alright, let's make sure we don't have a fish on. I just want to go check the admin building really quick to see what we need to save. Also, are there any orders we might get? Probably not. Alright, where's the admin building? Is it this one? That's the grocery store. That's the workshop. Oh, it only costs 6 silver. I bet we can afford it. Let's see what we need to sell to have 6 silver. We need to sell 2.5 silver worth of fish. Yeah, that's perfect. Just making sure all of those were under all of those were under 500 grams, so we couldn't turn them into pieces of fish. All right. We are down to less than a silver. Don't think about how much silver we had before we started this Kuori experiment. Okay. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to troll towards the island. Let me show you what we did last time and versus what we're going to do this time. Alright, there's trolling. So, see how we're sort of following the deeper area of the map? And like I told you before, you can just kind of do the full loop. And this tends to be some pretty decent fishing spots. You sort of find out where the better spots are, where the worst spots are, and adjust. But now that Kuori has been redone and reworked, there is definitely, it's definitely worthwhile to explore this part of the map as well. You can even go up to here if you're feeling really bold. But, you know, I don't know what is like the most active right now. It certainly changes, but it's worth exploring different parts of the map. So right here in this same spot, once again, we're getting grayling. And it's sunny now, so at least for a bit, I'm going to put on the other spiker, see if it seems to make any difference. So now we've got spiker 17, spiker 18. Unfortunately, they're both yellow, so there's like no variety in what we're using right now, but it ends up being the best bite rate. That's okay. All right, pretty quick bite there on the on this spiker. 11.5 spin fishing. I mean, we're just getting points so fast. And this is really why I like... First of all, I think learning how to do trolling well in this game is important. Both in terms of like fishing, like we're doing now, as well as chasing after fish that are too big for your gear, which will probably happen to us eventually. And figuring out some of those techniques. I mean, I think all that is just important to start learning. Second of all, I just think because of how good the bite rate is, this is, to me, kind of the most chill but also fun way. I guess I just like doomed us there. So we've got to watch the amount of line we have. Start bringing the friction brake up a little bit. So one thing when you're trolling and you're trying to chase down a fish, you don't want to drive the boat straight at the fish because that creates too much slack. You want to sort of come alongside of it, slowly get closer and closer. And if you have any control over the fish at all, you can, you know, try to bring it in, because once you get it close enough, you'll be able to hop it into the boat or get your net out to snag it. Which, by the way, when we can afford it, we need to purchase the bigger net. Definitely high time we do that. All right, this fish feels like it wants to just fly right into the boat right now. So we're gonna try to give it that every opportunity to do so. See it right there. And here it is. Beautiful. That is a 4-kilo lake trout. And that is a good bit of XP, and also just a blast to catch it. I mean, those are the kinds of fish that perfect for this setup we have. We get to fight it for a minute, but we get it in really quick. It's a marker. It's worth a decent amount, a little bit of silver there, but gives us points in spin fishing. It's kind of everything we want. A couple more of those and we'll be level 21. So like I've said before, you could do this same thing we're doing, which is to level up your spin fishing. Once we get to 15%, by the way, we can at least put one spoon on. Spoons are fun. The problem with spoons and our setups is we're eventually going to hook into fish that are frankly just really hard to get in with the limited strength we have, but not impossible. So, you know, probably worth it. Alright, once again, we're going to come alongside of it. So I can already tell, like, off in this direction, sort of west of the island. I mean, you know, twice in a row we've hooked into some pretty decent lake trout over here. 3-kilo lake trout. I love it. Alright, we're going to turn around and go back the other way, so I'm actually going to cast this in front of us. Then we'll take control of the boat, not trolling, but like regular control. Spin it around, and then hit J for trolling. Now we're trolling again. Make sure we don't have a fish on. Also check your friction brake, especially with weaker gear. You want to be careful what you're starting it on. Okay, this does have a fish on, and it's in front of us still. So we want to rescue that perch as soon as possible. And I'm just max casting. I don't know exactly how far we're getting it out. I guess we could test it. Let's do a 15 clip real quick. Are we getting it 15 meters? No. We're not getting it 15. We're not getting it 20. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Grayling? Are we getting at 12? Nah. Now, you might be saying, why can't you cast farther? Well, remember test. This is the whole reason why it's so hard to get a setup that works on Belaya. We're supposed to be casting lures that are at least 40 grams in weight. Our lure is 3 grams. Now, the good news is, when you're trolling, it doesn't really matter. In fact, if you... Fishing seems to be great, even... Okay, I'm just going to stop the trolling motor here. Now, to restart the trolling motor, I would have to actually put the rod in the holder, and then I could hit J to restart. So it's a little bit risky. That's why you don't want to stop trolling until you're pretty confident that you're going to be able to handle the fish. But if I wanted it to go out longer, then I just keep holding it. Don't close the bail. So the line's getting farther and farther out right now. And then when it's the right distance away, you can close it. But we seem to be catching plenty of fish at this, whatever it is, 10-meter clip or however far it's going out. Ooh, a savan trout. Very small one, but it is a marker. So again, we're kind of out here in the other part of the map. We just saw a savan trout, which we hadn't seen at all on the other side. So that's interesting. Kind of file that away. You never know if that could be, you know, duplicated or not. Trolling is a little less exact than some of the other fishing. Not that any fishing in this game is exact or like a spreadsheet, but trolling especially feels like it has a lot of randomness to it. But you'll definitely find hot spots where things are just working better than others. See how far away the fish is? That's because we let the line go out before we closed it last time. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this around. Let's see. Turn this around pretty quickly here. Turn trolling back on, and yeah, we'll just kind of do this direction for right now. Now, I will show you one of my favorite things to do with spinnerbaits here. Perch. Is the shorter cast, and then set it down, and now you can just watch the spinnerbait. Now, I'll leave this for you to sort of discover this on your own. This is something that's just fun. You can kind of just leave it close to your boat like that. It probably does slow the bite rate down. It's not going to be your best like technique or whatever. But if you zoom in, you can see the spinnerbait out there, and then you can just watch when a fish comes and takes it. And I always enjoy that. In fact, we actually got to see one there, didn't we? That perch just came out of nowhere. So there you go. So there's the island to our left, and we're kind of trolling right over this 15-meter hole back here. If you notice the time of day, it's been a little slower in the afternoon, the hot part of the afternoon. But we should have some decent bites right here before nighttime sets in. Decent lake trout. 14.5%. I've just been skipping the smaller fish. Hoping we'll catch one or two decent ones before the afternoon is over. I definitely feel like, and this is often the case, I would say, I don't know, if these 4 squares here, Seems like some pretty good fishing. Just kind of keeping it around these 4 squares might not be the worst idea. Now, how much does it take to travel here? 25 silver, almost 26 silver. Old bird costs 7 silver. If you're sort of following along with this guide and you've gone this direction to be able to both troll Kuori and also bottom fish for bream, don't feel like you're locked into one map for a full day or something. Troll during the day, trolling's going to be awfully slow at night. Now, a lot of times there's good fishing at Kuori at night. You could bottom fish for rough. Sometimes other things as well. Sometimes even float fishing can be good here since the rework. But you want to go still make, you know, that 200 silver a night or whatever bream money, and then come back and do trolling here at Kuori during the day for fun, just for something different to level up your spin fishing, and maybe occasionally to bump into a really nice fish. That'd be a heck of a way to play, you know. To me, that's some really fun fishing. That sort of combination of trolling Kuori, bream at Berg. I think you could definitely pick worse ways to spend your basically your level 20, your level 20s in this game. We have several we can turn into pieces of fish here. Let's hope we get a point. Now there are sometimes very nice, there we go, 54.6. Very nice doable lake trout cafe orders. So always check those. And they can be worth really good silver. So especially as you like graduate into spoons and you're at least able to get some decent lake trout throughout the day. You might, that's a nice Vendus. You might start hitting some cafe orders. We don't want to go too far this way. We've still yet to see a Kuori char. Always fun to see those. Whoa. Okay, so we need to get this fish in, and yeah, it's our first Arctic char, right? I'm gonna actually cast that back out. It's a little risky, because what if we end up in a big fight with this one? But this is the time of the day where, like, just like early morning, this is the time where if you're going to get a really nice fish, it's probably going to be in this time frame. Ooh, we need to be careful. I think we're going right at the fish. A little too close. All of a sudden, way too much slack was getting in there. Oh, we've got a nice fish on the other one too, but I think we're able to pull it and hopefully not get spooled. This was the risk. But this fish is nice. We know this is a decent fish, so I'm certainly not going to set this one down and risk it popping off just so that we can see what the other one is. Ooh! Sometimes just perfect moments happen in this game. And the way that fish jumped at the time it jumped, that was just amazing. Wow. 2 really nice lake trout right in a row. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, always check those cafe orders. Kind of went this way, and then I was about to kind of spin back around here, and that's when we hooked into the first one. Oh, yeah, this spot we're going over right now seems to be really good for these lake trouts. Another lake trout. I love spin fishing. I mean, trolling Kuori. It's just so fun to me. Because at this point in the game, you've been doing so much bottom fishing, at least the typical approach I do, and it's just a blast. Almost 11 p.m. It definitely slows down about now. You hear that jumping? This fish was just like jumping back there. Lake trout. Let's see if we get one more on the way in here. Oh. And it's decent. Decent laker. Hey, I love catching these lake trouts. It's pretty awesome. We're at 16% already. Did I just read that correct? Oh, we can do fins. We can do spoons next time. Oh man. Okay, hold on. We might have to turn around. That's a laker. How beautiful is Kuori Lake, by the way? Crystal clear water. Like this is where you'd want to vacation. That's the nicest one yet, by the way. And this is where we got to decide, you know, is there a spoon we want to try next time we fish? I could see having spoon on the Saber 60 rod and the Spiker 18 on the Pulsar 6000. Something like that. It'd be a lot of fun. Good old Kuori Lake. Now, no question the spoon will be a lot slower, but I'm sort of counting on the fact that the spinnerbait will still be a decent enough bite rate for us to not feel like it's too slow. Holy cow, fish of the day right here. Wow, 8,000 XP, 3.5 kilo rainbow trout. And that was on the 17. At midnight. Wow. Let's see how much they were worth. First of all, let's double check that there's nothing else we need to do here. That rainbow trout, 38 silver. Hey. Bad. Not bad. 136 for first day out at Kuori. Alright, let's say we wanted to get a spoon. Is there anything that even stands out as like worth considering? Okay, remember we want to look at two things. First, we want to look at the Kuori char. Actually, I should say we probably want to look at three things. Okay. The Hunter 111. Next, we want to look at lake trout, but the question is, are any of them going to be spoons? Ooh, Spiker 16. We were catching Lakers. Like, I have no trouble with the Lakers we were catching, I think. And then lastly, Savon trout. The Hornet 9. I would just rather try a spoon, even though I know it's going to be slow. What was the spoon? Hunters are so good too. Hunter 111. Let's see if they happen to have this. Now, you don't really want to buy a lot of stuff here because it is expensive. But it's also kind of expensive to travel here. So, if it's just like one thing, that's fine. Okay. They have it at 68 silver. We'll try it next time. And we can actually cast this thing a country mile. So we will probably cast this 18 to 20 meters behind the boat, something like that. Alright, so what did I say? On this one, we put Hunter 11, and let's clip it at 18 to start with. And the other one is on the boat still. In my opinion, you want to start trolling at about 5 a.m. Doesn't hurt to be out there at 4 though. Might see an early Kuori char if you get out there early enough. Okay, As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Tight lines.